Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI.
For our discussion today, we'll be drawing from a very insightful article published in PC Mag on March 15th, 2024. It's called You're Asking ChatGPT the Wrong Questions, and it was written by Rubin Circelli. We're going to deconstruct the core principles he outlines for a more effective way to communicate with AI. So I think many of us have felt that frustration when an AI model gives a generic or just unhelpful answer. Well, according to the author, Rubin Circelli, this issue often isn't a problem with the AI itself. The problem is with our input. He argues that the quality of your prompt directly determines the quality of the response. This entire concept is what's known as prompt engineering, and it's really the key to unlocking more powerful and precise results.
So here's our roadmap for this analysis. We'll start by defining what this fundamental prompting problem really is. Then, we'll introduce Circelli's core formula. He calls it the trifecta. After that, we'll look at how to apply it in the real world for both factual research and for more creative projects. We'll wrap up by looking at why prompting should be seen as an essential and evolving professional skill.
So what is this core problem? Well, at its heart, it's that vague or poorly constructed prompts just lead to those generic, underwhelming AI answers that so many of us are familiar with. But as Circelli points out, this shouldn't be seen as a failure of the technology. Really, it's an opportunity for us, the user. By refining how we ask our questions, we can transform the AI from just a simple tool into a much more sophisticated analytical partner.
To fix this problem, Rubin Circelli proposes a really foundational framework for building better prompts. He calls it the prompting trifecta, and it's a set of 3 principles that really serve as the bedrock for effectively communicating with any AI model.
The trifecta is built on 3 pretty powerful components. First up is clarity. This just means using direct, unambiguous language and trying to avoid jargon that could be misinterpreted. Second, you have to provide context. This means giving the AI the relevant background details it needs to actually understand the framework of your request. And third is specificity. Being as precise as you possibly can about what you want the outcome to be. According to Circelli, mastering these 3 elements is the real foundation for getting superior results from any AI.
Okay, so let's apply this trifecta to a common use case: factual research. The goal here is to move away from these imprecise questions that give us generic lists and move toward highly specific queries that deliver targeted, actionable information. Circelli gives a perfect, everyday example of this. On the left, you see a pretty vague prompt: where can I get Chinese food in my town? Now, the AI will give you an answer, but it's probably going to be a generic list. But now, look at how the trifecta transforms it. For clarity, Chinese food becomes the much more precise Chinese-American restaurant. For context, we add within 5 miles of my house. And for specificity, we add the constraints serves orange chicken for under $15. This refined prompt has gone from a simple question to a powerful query that's going to give a far more useful answer. Now, for more advanced research, Circelli outlines several professional techniques. Forcing a web search is absolutely critical because it makes sure the AI is using current data, so you're not relying on an outdated information model. You can also specify your desired sources, for example, telling the AI to only cite reputable academic journals. Defining a time frame is also key if you only want information published within, say, the last year. And for really complex problems, you can instruct the AI to engage its most advanced reasoning model to get a much deeper analysis. Now, these same principles are just as applicable to creative tasks, like generating images or writing text. The main principle here, as Circelli suggests, is that when you're instructing a creative AI, descriptive precision is much more effective than poetic ambiguity. Let's look at this example for AI art. A prompt like, a gorgeous tree with branches like spider webs. It's evocative, sure, but it's way too abstract for an AI to interpret reliably. A much more effective prompt, as Circelli shows, would be a tall Japanese maple tree with many branches that go off into different directions, each of which has many bright red leaves. You see, this gives the AI crucial clarity on the species of tree and specificity about its color and structure. It provides clear instructions to execute. The article's also full of other really practical tips. If you need a specific writing style, for instance, you should provide the AI with an example to copy rather than just trying to describe it. For creative tasks, submitting the same prompt multiple times can give you some interesting variations. And when you're asking an AI to analyze a file, always use a clear, high-quality image. Critically, for documents, a native text file is always going to be better than an image of text because it eliminates any potential errors from character recognition. All of this really leads to what is perhaps the most important takeaway from the article. And that's that prompt engineering shouldn't be viewed as just a static checklist. It's a dynamic and evolving skill that requires dedicated practice and refinement over time. As Rubin Circelli puts it, true mastery just comes from practice. It means building an intuition for how different AI models are going to respond, methodically looking at the outputs, and then adjusting your approach based on what you see. It's a continuous process of learning and adaptation.
So, the principles we've covered today provide a strong strategic foundation. But the most critical step is always application. Since this is an evolving skill, the question you should consider now is this: how will you intentionally practice and refine your own prompting ability?
Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, use the QR code at the beginning of this video to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. Please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel, and remember to like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.